Hello there, this is Richie Spirit's Gaiden, and this is the TWINBEE Deluxe pack. This is on the Sega Saturn. This is the Sega Saturn dashboard. We've only got 3 tracks on this CD, and they last for 58 minutes and 51 seconds. It's all important information. This is the Sega logo. Lovely Sega blue. Yeah, I don't know why the Saturn dashboard does that, it's a bit weird. I suppose it's because you can play audio CDs. This is the creepy Konami logo, where it kind of showing the screen, stalking you. Bit strange, that one. Prefer the 16-bit Konami logo, I think. This deluxe pack is not super deluxe, it's just normal deluxe, because it only has 2 games on it. It has 2 arcade conversions. So they're both called TWINBEE, and I don't know the full names of each of these games. But this one we're playing here is the most recent one I know of. There could have been TWINBEE games in the interim, because this is like from the 90s. But as such, being quite a recent one, it has very whiz-baggy graphics with lots of zooming in and out and scaling and parallax and all that sort of business. You've got your normal kind of doe-eyed, big-eared people that are talking to you in Japanese. The TWINBEE spaceship here, the rotund little fella with the big hands and feet. You know what that means? Big shoes and gloves. Shoots bells, collects bells, gets power-ups, throws bombs using its hands. In this game you can pick up extra weapons which you hold in your hands, which depending on the weapon stops you throwing bombs. You can lose your arms, so you can have your arms amputated through violence during the game. You collect fruit. Like I say, the bells give you special weapons. And it takes a lot of experimentation to work out what each bell is actually going to do when you pick it up, the colour. In common with all TWINBEE games, and Parodius, as it happens, shooting the bells to get power-ups is a pain in the ass. Luckily in this game you can pick up special weapons from the background. In Parodius, it's the greatest power-up system, so it's not as annoying. But here's a spaceship that was in one of the Parodius games. You can pick this to play. I think it might have been Sega Parodius, and I think he's got the Thunder Force weapon set, so I quite like that one. This is quite a cool effect, although it's irritating to play because it forces your TWINBEE to the bottom of the screen. You can't move up the screen when it's doing this loop-a-loop kind of effect. As you can see, Konami pushed the boat out on this arcade machine. It's kind of standard fare other than that. If you've played any other TWINBEE game, you'll be right at home here. It doesn't play any differently to those. It just has more stuff flying around, and it's quite a hard game despite the fact it's got cartoon stylings. So don't let the visuals put you off in terms of like it's going to be an easy game, because it bloody well isn't. It's pretty damn hard, especially later levels. I mean, you can, up to a point, if you got shoot 'em up skills, you'll be alright. But yeah, there's some wacky stuff going on later. Just surprising stuff like you'd never do it first time, sort of a thing. Cheap deaths. And as you can see, the graphics are pretty damn tasty. Got some pre-rendery sort of stuff going on here, so I think this is a pre-rendered boss. And the bosses come up and sort of spank things at you before they attack, which is a feature that I've seen in Pro Gear. So that happens a bit in other games too. There's cutscenes between the levels in this game, as in the other TWINBEE games. But yes, it's a simultaneous 2-player game. The Saturn version has lovely sound, obviously lovely graphics. It does slow down a bit. There's some levels where the frame rate gets quite low, and I don't know if that's a arcade issue or a Saturn issue. I'm assuming it's in the arcade, therefore replicated on the Saturn. I don't know. I believe this game also came out on the PlayStation, this compilation, this high content compilation with the 2 games. Of all the deluxe packs that you can get for the Saturn and PlayStation from Konami. This is probably the least valuable one, so you should be able to get a copy of this. And that's probably because the games on it aren't as popular as like Salamander and Gradius, unfortunately. But they're high quality. But anyway, you can probably get it for about 30 quid in nice condition. It's got a nice little cartoony front cover. The old TWINBEE illustrations and the old instructions in this. Let's open that. I've never played the PlayStation version, don't know if it's the same. I'm assuming it's exactly the same. Don't see why it wouldn't be. And yeah, it's alright, it's pretty good. I do recommend the game if you like shoot 'em ups. If you don't like shoot 'em ups, then I wouldn't buy it. But this pig, it's brilliant. He's got massive nostrils and he explodes in a ball of flame, like all pigs end up doing at some point in their lives. And I'm being surrounded by buzzy things. Yeah, so you can see there's lots of lovely parallax scrolling here. There's a bit, I think it's around here. It just gets very, very slow for no real reason that I can tell. And I don't know what's going on. But yeah. It's actually when the spinny things come on the screen. There's like a sort of a jerkily animated spinny thing, and then the game just slows right down. It's weird. Anyway, this thing. Here we go. It's going to slow down any second. Look at that. What's going on? It must be incredibly taxing to make that thing spin. Dunno. Anyway, good game. Some great bosses. The boss on this level is nice. They do a nice line and cartoon walking robots in the TWINBEE games. Like Pop and TWINBEE had an ace one at the end of level 3 on the SNES. This one's pretty good. It's not as good as the one in Pop and TWINBEE. Pop and TWINBEE is still my favourite TWINBEE game. And it's a great shoot 'em up, just in general. But this is pretty cool. And it's pretty cheap on the Saturn if you got an import Saturn. So I do kind of recommend it. Holding down the fire button charges your shot up R-type style. I'm not using it a lot in this game. I should really be using it more. You see I've got my bubble shield. Always get your bubble shield in this game. Saves you a lot of pain. Oh, I've lost both my arms now. Oh, now I've lost my head. In an unfortunate industrial accident. Oh dear, oh dear. I do miss the ability to box. So in the SNES Pop and TWINBEE, you could punch stuff. Yeah, you can't in this game. We've got some more animated cutscenes though. Lovely stuff. Right, let's take a look at the other game. So this one looks like it came out in 1991, and this has been converted to the PC Engine. I do have the PC Engine version of this. And that version's pretty good, but the arcade machine is much more impressive, but still a little bit creaky. So here we have a green-haired lady with a floating orb. She's telling you about it in Japanese. She's on her way to a wedding. You've kind of caught her on her way, interrupted her because of that dress. Still got the clouds, still got the bells. We still have shooting to do, still throw bombs. We've got some parallax scrolling here. We have got some lovely cartoon stylings. I quite like the naive style drawings in this game. Like the houses there, pretty cool. They look a little bit like Lego houses or something. I do like that. No, I like the way the rocks are rendered. Yeah, I'm a bit of a fan of these naively drawn graphics. I don't know what it is. The original TWINBEE game, sort of in the 80s, was horrific to look at. This one's got the balance just right. Your TWINBEE's the slow-assed son of a gun in this game. You need to get some speed up bells, mate. Charge up the old laser beam. See, that's what they changed in the SNES version. Instead of a laser beam, you have the punch. And I think I prefer the punch. It just makes more sense. I don't think you could get your arms back in these, lose your arms in the SNES version. But on this one, you can definitely do that. It's a TWINBEE staple. Some stuff zooming out of the background. I think it's actually scaled. I don't think it's just sprites, just drawn at different scales. This does have some zooming in and out, I believe. And yeah, it's also got a crab boss, which you can't argue with. Pick up your fruits. Gotta love your fruit. Oh, it's got three-way fire. Now they're gonna get it right in the neck. The enemies have always been a bit weird in this game, like the popcorn enemies. Some of them, the fruit and veg ones, kind of, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Some of them are just kind of random blobs. They look a bit like strawberries with cockpits. Can't argue with strawberries with cockpits. And you got these little blob fellas that are in their minecarts, going about their business. Just going about their business, trying to bomb the faces off. There's some people in the background there, going about their business, polishing a bridge. Don't know what they're doing. There's probably some sort of story to these games. I don't know what it is. It's probably, like I'm saying that quite like this. I don't know what it is. But it's all kind of weird, isn't it? Probably something to do with factories and robot menace and I don't know, like that. The wedding girl at the beginning is probably really upset that her wedding's been interrupted by industrial action at the local mining colony. I don't know. I'm making it up. Sort of like a Bavarian-looking village in the sky. Oh man, they drew on a few different things for this game. A few different resources. This is the crab boss. Let's charge up and shoot his face off. Makes no sense. He's just a crab. He's just living up there on these rails. Just, you know, minding his own business. You know, threatening the town below with its crabby dumps and his bubbles. So he must be getting rid of, or gotten rid of. He's like having a massive spider in your house. You just gotta get out. Where's the animated? PC Engine version flickers quite a bit. And, it looks fairly similar. Doesn't have parallax scrolling. Oh, look at this. He's a chubby spaceship with a dude. Cowboy hat. Yeah, absolutely no parallax scrolling in the PC Engine version. It looks lovely here. So yeah, both games are worth playing. I think the more recent game with the squishy graphics and the giant sort of pig. I think that one's a bit harder. I think that one's a bit harder than this one. Once you get powered up in this one, you can actually survive for a bit of a chunk of time. Whereas the other one didn't seem as forgiving. Oh look, I've linked up with another chubby spaceship and made a super laser. Lovely. Get rid of these bats with a massive bomb. Yeah, I wish Konami had done like a Thunder Force Deluxe pack, and I wish Capcom had made like a Final Fight collection of the Saturn. Never happened. But we did get a TWINBEE one, which is odd, and we did get X's and Vulgus on the Saturn, which is strange. It's like they ignored some of my favourite arcade games. Things like, you know, Konami could have done something like The Simpsons. They probably didn't have the license, though, did they? Probably lost the license. Konami also made like an amazing Marvel fighting game back in the day. X-Men. You could play Nightcrawler and Colossus. That was really cool. Spent many hours on that. Anyway, when we're talking about that, we're talking about TWINBEE. So TWINBEE's got the irritating power-up system with the bells. It's quite a tough game, even though it's got like cartoon stylings. You get 2 great games on one disc, and it's about 35 quid. So you can't say further than that. I do like it, and it's not too expensive. And it's out on the PlayStation as well. So yeah, pick it up if you like vertical scrolling shooters. If you don't, then don't. Alright, ta-ra.